Hey guys,
It's always awkward when we come in.
Again, just
And this
part
is
of our
the 10th time we've done it.
personality. Thanks for joining our feet therapy session.
Yes, and I am unapologetic about it.
Welcome to our unapologetic era. I'm Ashley. This is Leah.
Whoop, whoop.
Woohoo! We're happy to be here.
You told me earlier that I can't say Haktua, but if I have to Haktua, it's because I've been sick. So I'm sorry.
Can't say that.
Sorry.
We're going to jump in, guys, with our dirty DMs to start with.
Which we're doing a little different, and I've said that before, but today we're doing a little different. I will say, you DMers have backed off. That's probably my fault because I'm making your lives miserable. But the Facebook dating world has not backed off, and they're coming in strong. This one, the one we're going to talk about today, is not really like a strong, like, oh, I can't believe he said that. But yeah. So we're gonna call him the headless sweatpant guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
The gray sweatpants, too, by the way.
Yeah. He's 52 years old. Oh, there's names on there. Well, we don't know his last name. And he doesn't live in Louisiana or Tennessee. So, this is how he greeted me.
I'm not going to lie to you. When you sent this picture, I had to take a second glance and like, is that my husband? Is she trying to tell me he's cheating on me? Because that looks just like my husband.
He cut his head off. Can I just point out, he literally did not show me his face. Now, as we'll see on the next thing, on his profile, this is one of the pictures he had on his profile. And I almost did not match with him because it was very obvious what the gray sweatpants were saying. But all of his other credentials were really good and his other pictures were really good. His face is in the picture on Facebook, on the dating. So why did he choose to crop it when he sent me hey, this is Brad. It's nice to connect with you. The most professional message. Okay, so then I just go ahead and I say, we had normal conversation. I told him I had been sick. And then he's the one that brought it up. He says, I take way too many gym selfies and videos probably. Selfies in general. Screw it. Everyone does it. So I take this opportunity. I wasn't going to say anything. But I took this opportunity to say, yeah, the gray sweatpants pic is questionable. Which it is. It is questionable. I said, I'm going to just let you know that. Meaning, like, I know you're a little older and we don't always, like, he's boomer. I guess is he boomer?
I don't know.
No, or is he Gen X? Or
No.
Anyway.
No, he's old.
Wait,
He's before millennial.
Yeah.
You got it backwards. He's a before millennial, which is a what? I don't know. It's what my mama is.
That's X. Because Gen Z would be, like, your after millennials.
Oh, it's whatever my mama is, and that's old.
Yeah, anyway, he's not as old as my parents. But, by the way, this is what it looks like whenever I match with people my age. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not going to lie, though, but he's got some nice hands.
There's more to that story. So I said, and I definitely think this is true. Go back. You went away from me. Yeah, thank you. I said, that's basically as if I had sent you a picture of me in my bra and panties, which I'm still covered, but I'm not covered. Gray sweatpants. Not covered, but covered. Also, why is he that excited in the gym? Because there's no way that thing is just walking down the road like that.
You see the background. He went into a room, one of the fitness rooms. He's by himself. He like got a little rubby. He rubby, and to make it a little more.
They call that fluffing in the male stripper world.
Thank you. I knew there's a word.
He fluffed himself. So all of these things lead to that's questionable, right? And they're not wrong. He's responding to something different earlier. He says, my apologies didn't mean to offend. I'm not offended. I'm just trying to clue you in to what kind of trailer trash you're attracting. And yes, I did match. So that is also questionable. He said, that pic is on my profile, by the way. Most girls aren't offended whatsoever by gray sweatpants. Like now he's going to try to play it off as it's not what it is. Okay, this annoyed is what I was at this point. He said, but maybe we're not a good fit for each other. Because I pointed out to him, I wasn't even a bitch about it. I was really nice. I was really nice about it. I was like, just heads up. So he says, yeah, maybe we're not a good fit, which is certainly fine. Hope you feel better. Oh, because I've been sick. Hope you feel better regardless. WTF?
Yeah, but context when you text people and what you verbalize,
You can
saying,
slide again for me.
it does come off differently.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's any situation though, not just.
So I told him, which you can't see on this one, but I'll tell you it says. I told him, I said, I know I saw it on your profile and I almost didn't match with you because I saw it. But I thought, I'm not going to judge a person. This is what the text says. I'm not going to judge a person from one pic. So I'm still being nice, like too nice when you're a gray sweatpant guy, headless gray sweatpant. He goes, as you shouldn't, but obviously we're not a good fit. Nobody's fault. Take care and feel better. Okay, done. I ain't playing with you anymore. But what does he do? He comes back again. And he tries to tell me that at 52 years old, it's hard for him to know. So now he thinks he's going to, I guess you could kind of call that gaslighting. He's going to try to convince, I know he made it go away.
What?
Oh, you made it go away.
Oh.
He said, it's hard to be 52 and find your way dating again, by the way. Not going to apologize. I didn't ask him to apologize.
Why do you get so defensive? Over some
And this is why I go back to the 28-year-olds. Because this is a single, good-looking man that is age-appropriate for me, and this is the crap that I get. Over and over again. So anyway, he says, texting his card. So he's trying to continue conversation with me. Done. I ain't responding anymore.
That's what I just said.
That's whenever he went from Brad in my phone to headless sweatpants guy, and I hope he texts me again. I also got another message from a guy during the same time, and he was like, you don't text back often enough. And I wanted to be like, not to be a bitch, but I don't even know who you are. Like, what? You didn't even send me like your name. So I don't, anyway. It's not a DM. It's not a dirty DM. It's an annoying DM.
But he did in the end was like, it's hard to text. And that's what I just said. Like the context of when you're texting, it doesn't give a vocal, whatever the word is.
No, it is. Absolutely. But he knew what he was doing. And he then was trying to turn it back around on me. You can't tell me that's not what he was trying to do. Because he said he didn't need to apologize. And I was like, I didn't ask you to apologize.
What doesn't apologize for?
God, could you imagine dating him though? No, thank you.
I have 18.
Talk about some red flags.
I bet he's got a good daddy credit score though.
I don't know. With as much HGH and testosterone that man was on. Okay, so as I was trying to figure this out, which Lord, please forgive me whenever I tell you all this, but as I was trying to figure out which one I was going to, no, which one which message or whatever I was going to use for our show today, I was talking to my son about it. And so I'm like, Gabe, and I show him the picture. And I do find this interesting that immediately when I showed him the picture of headless gray sweatpants guy, he goes, he's on a lot of steroids. Instead of noticing what I noticed. So might be the more messed up one?
What do you say? What?
He didn't even notice, which, I mean, thank God, which he, by the way, said, because I said, you missed the point. And he goes, well, I'm not gay. And I was like,
looking at his gray sweatpants.
So then he goes, well, show it to me again. And then when I showed it to him again, he goes, oh, yeah, that's not good.
His eyes are not going to draw to what
he
a
went
woman's
straight to
eyes
his forearms and his veins. And I was like, I mean.
He has some big hands.
He should have focused on that. Did he? See, I didn't notice.
He has some big old hands.
Well,
I zoomed in.
They fluff a lot, apparently.
I don't even.
God help me.
I don't even know how to tie in at this point with these, like, I guess you would look like. It's like these red flags you're seeing when you're dating, and it's just like, bye, Felicia, done. You don't even give the people, but that's you like a chance to even.
Okay,
notice.
I wanted to talk about passport bros, which kind of has to do with this.
Right, that's where
This guy is in the age range and has the attitude of somebody who says, I don't want an Americanized woman anymore. You saw how defensive he was.
Yeah.
And so in his mind, he's justified that I'm the problem. Which, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not completely blameless, but he has said to himself that I'm the problem. So what's he going to do? He's going to go to another country where women are more traditional, so more submissive, but because you're basically controlling them with a green card and pay. But so we're not going to go into that.
Always.
Not always, but it's probably the majority. So he, yeah. Anyway, I feel like he would be somebody who'd be like, I need a catalog of brides. Stat, please.
It just, it's mid. I guess we have it's the catalog bride situation, yes. But being married to a foreigner, I do view things a little differently than that.
And you and I've talked about that, and you are always telling me, you're like, you need a foreigner, which, by the way, I totally looked into the whole, like, Euro date thing, and I'm like, I can't, like, find time to hang out with somebody in Mississippi. How am I going to do it across the pond?
Because they talk to them for, like, a year before you even to go see them.
Yeah,
but,
that's
yeah, but with the passport, bros.
a lot of gray sweatpant pics.
You don't wear sweatpants in Europe, by the way. Like,
I thought they wore capris there.
No, it's you don't go in public that way. It's offensive.
Yeah, I should probably move to Europe.
There's no athletic wear in public. Like, you just don't do it. It's you dress appropriately. You get to the gym, you change clothes, and then you go.
Okay, so that's nice, actually. And they must have more time on their hands, and water must not cost as much. So back to the passport bros thing, because you and I did talk about this, and you are married to somebody who's not from here. But he lived here when you met him.
Right.
But I have noticed this trend. They don't, like, being a mail order bride or whatever has always been something to kind of be ashamed of. Or it was always like it's a guy that couldn't get girls that would literally order a bride. The problem now is that the men, like, headless here, they are ordering their bride, and their bride is coming over and Americanizing really quickly. So they say. I don't know what's really happening, but they are not happy. The passport bros are not happy at all, and they are getting TikTok loud. This brings us back to the whole Karen thing. But they're getting TikTok loud, and they're bitching that their brides that they brought over that were supposed to be traditional and
conservative,
and meek,
conservative backgrounds.
Yeah, they are, as soon as they have the opportunity to jetting and taking off.
Well, that's their own damn fault, putting emphasis on what they thought was a conservative value. But the women wanting to come up sounds like what they found was.
So they're saying it's our fault, like American women's fault, or that's what I'm gathering. I'm sure I'll be corrected at some point, but they are saying it's our fault. I think that, yes, our society, like the whole feminism thing, has all been too much. It really has been. But we have the internet. I don't think they have to come here to start having their own little feminist movement. Sorry, I have something on my mouth. But I think they know exactly what they're doing. So is it, and maybe you can help because you are married to someone who's not from here, is it manipulation on the bride's part more than the passport bro just being a Karen?
I mean, I think it has to go with what they are perceiving as what they want their standards to be. And then I think it's the women that are coming over here that already have it set in their mind of what's going to happen.
Yeah, they never intended on it.
There was never an intention of.
So that would be manipulation.
Yeah. So continuing the conservative values that may have grown up with. But also different countries have different standards.
I agree.
So.
And some are still more traditional than others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't say, like, I can honestly, if I look at all of my husband's friends' wives, they're all 100% provided for. None of them work. Once to the point of having children. Married before children they were. They don't work, and there is a conservative loyalty to a family that is very different from being what it is here.
And I definitely will say that here in our society, that's looked down upon, which is crazy because you know how hard it is to raise a family.
Oh my God. And but also look at, so not just the women coming here, think of the passport bros that are going there to live, because everything's remote now. You can work remote, right? You can have an American salary, go move to the Philippines and live 2 cents to the dollar. So they're able to have these women and get married there and provide for them on a level.
Well, if they do that, why would the woman leave? Because she's still with her family, and now she's the rich bitch in town. So why would she leave?
They're able to
That would be smarter on their part to do that.
Yeah.
I guess I'm referring more to the ones that come here.
So and that's what I'm saying. It goes both ways. The men can go there and they work remotely, have an American salary, and then they just provide, and basically their women She does whatever she wants. Because if you go rent a house for $300 there compared to paying $2,000 here, you're balling out.
I really should leave the country.
But I mean, the economics overseas is just so different compared to here. So are we
I actually can speak because you actually do spend part of the year
in
over-
Europe?
Yeah.
So it's very, I mean, we live on the pennies compared to what is here. I mean, it's definitely changed.
It is really nice. Like whenever she tells me that they take the whole family over to visit his family, and I'm like, I could not. Like we couldn't even afford the flight, but I think the flight's like the most expensive part for y'all, isn't it?
That's all we pay for. I mean, that's it. That's all we pay for is just get
Yeah.
everybody over there, basically. I mean, there's a house there and everything. So it's not like anything crazy. But our, I forgot where I was going.
I'm sorry.
No, but it's they're basically saying what they're saying to American women is that we're having these impossible standards of obsessive need of materialism and this excessive need of independence and the lack of what American women have in traditional values is why they're going to seek conservative countries.
Okay, well, I would like to say this, and I would like this to be very much so heard. I do not want to be as independent as I am.
Me too.
I was born and raised in a very traditional home, and I will say, like, I followed my parents' path as closely as I could have with my own, like, little happiness, because I did not marry a man like my dad at all. But I, got married young, and I started my family young, and I was very happy with that. I ended up not working out, not by my choice.
Right.
And since have been forced to do something that I had no intention of doing. Like I really just wanted to be a mom and a wife. And yeah, like, I could contribute to the family, but I didn't want to bring in six figures. I didn't want to be a boss and then come home and have to be a mom. Like, that was not a
the
thing for me.
contribution was a secondary
Right.
to the primary of being providing for your
exactly.
family on a whole nother not financial level.
And I kind of have to say I'm still pissed at myself for marrying the wrong person, because whenever I got married in 2004, we didn't have Facebook yet, and this world was not as messed up as it is. And I now do not have the same opportunities I had back then to choose a man the way that I could have. It's unfortunate things didn't work out, but trying to find someone now to live a life like that with, that's not headless sweatpant guy, it's almost impossible. It really is. And it's I mean, I know the men feel the same way. They're very discouraged, and but I need them to understand. I need you to understand that if we fix the problem, then you still are the bitch. You're still the bitch. So just you got to take the horse by the reins.
But so they're not prepared. You're saying basically the American men are not prepared for the standards and the traditional roles.
No, not at all.
In the household.
But they love to bitch about it.
But they want it, but they can't provide it.
They love to call themselves, I'm an alpha. As soon as a man tells me he's an alpha, I'm like,
define alpha. Like, I know what alpha, but like, what are they defining as alpha? Are they, I'm fine.
At that point, look, one of my questions now, whenever I talk to a guy, I don't know what you call it. It's like an interview at this point.
At this age, it is an interview.
I'm like, can you
check my box?
Can you protect me from the zombie apocalypse that's coming at some point? Because I'm starting to think that I'm never going to find an emotional safe place. So how good are you with weapons? Are you afraid of zombies? Because I am, and I can't use weapons very well.
So you need a lot of acreage in the middle of nowhere that they can get rich enough. You get an underground bunker.
Oh, I have an ex-trainer. Love him. He's not from America, by the way. But I have an ex-trainer that he put a bunker in his backyard in Baton Rouge. So
we're below sea level. How the hell do you even...
Look, I didn't say that it was working out very well.
Or logical. It didn't leak.
When I tell you this is not a big yard, I actually have no idea how it ended up, because he was doing it whenever I quit training with him. But my ex-mother-in-law still works out with him, though. I should ask her how his bunker's doing. He's an amazing person. I love him very much. But yeah, he's not American at all. And conversations with him are really interesting too. Kind of like with Peter. Like he thinks very differently.
And Peter, like when we talk about Peter, my husband, he's we actually invited him to be here. He's like, no.
Yeah, I really wanted to phone Peter in, and he said no because he is different.
He's very
he's
traditional
worried about being looked at
roles.
differently.
He is worried about, because the things that him and I talk about in a normal, if you're not an open-minded person, can be perceived as very sexist. But he's only in his traditional role of what is expectation of what a wife
I
should
love
be.
that love that you're saying this, and I wish he would talk to us, because as I'm having all of this yucky feedback on socials from men, they are saying that that we've taken that away from them. And here's a man that has it, and he's afraid to speak about having it because he knows he's going to get ridiculed from it by who? The ones that just wish they had it. So it's like this, y'all hate me for saying the Karen thing, but like, could you be more of a Karen? If you're not being that, then you're being a middle school girl who's a bully.
So they're not allowing the women to fall in those traditional roles.
No.
What you're saying. They're like bitching that they don't have it, but not allowing for the women to fall into it, which both you and I are willing to do.
That's why I say the thing about I'm tired of getting the blame game in the sense of the women have done this because of feminism. And first of all, guess who led feminism? A man did. Okay? Was a woman stupid enough to follow the lead? She was. But that's what women are made to do. Follow their lead. But don't blame us whenever a man said, I got an idea. And now you're mad about it. Here's the problem, though. We can't fix it. Just like I said a little while ago, like if we step in and say, you know what, you're right. Feminism is the problem, and we are going to quit being feminist, and we're going to do this. We're going to do it for you. Guess what happened there? You ain't leading shit. You didn't do anything.
I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
You're totally fine.
Messed you up so much today.
It's been a rough week, but the
She said I'm gonna get canceled.
I'm gonna get canceled. Stop saying that. Or sued. I don't fucking
As I'm
know.
coughing it up.
Me too. I'm trying to not cough as you're saying that. But when it comes out, you and I can change it on an individual, personal level basis. We can bring this into our life.
In your personal relationship.
Yeah,
totally agree.
And I don't find in anyone necessarily in our immediate circle that may be married that would be like, why is your wife this way?
No.
In a conservative manner, focusing on your family. Because realistically, what you're saying is the same men want the same thing. They just can't do nothing about it.
But I tell you what, it just lets me know right away that you are not my man. You're not my man. I do think that my toxic trait, though, I guess it's not my toxic trait. It's a toxic trait I'm attracted to is a man who comes off as a leader and then just really isn't.
Oh, I hate that.
Because
I know what you're talking about. Exactly.
I have fallen hard for a couple of men in my life that I felt very safe with them and I trusted them very much. It wasn't what I thought it was. Yeah. So I don't know. And that's a real thing I struggle with now is trusting my own instincts because I thought I felt safe and I could, follow this person and I couldn't. A couple of them.
And well, this could be part of the passport, bro. And the European thing is what I was getting into with my husband when I was seeking someone. I was looking, of course, for the complete and total opposite from any of my other relationships because obviously it wasn't fucking working. Yeah. So I needed something different. So I thought when I got into this relationship, he was a follower. Because
he's kind of quiet.
He's quiet, but he is very extroverted. So what I actually ended up getting when you get to know this man, complete and total leader. Like he has no problem guiding, making the right choices. Logically, like I tell you, he's my moral compass.
I know, and I think that's hilarious.
But it was very surprising going into it. Going into thinking what I wanted turned out to be what I needed.
Ooh, I want that in my life. Yeah. So you were smarter than me, faster than me. Because my second marriage, I went with stick my head in the sand and just have good sex. I did. I literally was just like, stick your head in the sand, ignore all of your problems,
Red flags,
And
trauma response, everything.
And it feels great when he's on top of me. Like, that's it. That was it. Like,
so out of 24 hours of your day, you get 7 minutes if you're lucky of pleasure of
I was
forgetting
getting like
everything.
7 minutes a month out of him once we were married. I was like, this was the dumbest decision ever.
No. Oh. Sorry, we got distracted for a minute. But end result, guys, what's your conclusion out of this?
There is no conclusion. My only conclusion is that I really wish the men who are contacting me and saying that they want their perspective on our show hear what I'm saying when I'm not hating them. I'm trying to help. My whole soapbox I'm standing on here is hear me out. I want to be the woman that you want me to be. I'm waiting patiently to be the woman that you want me to be. But I ain't gonna be your bitch just because you want a stroke on the back. It ain't happening.
Love it.
Go find that somewhere else.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on our Unapologetic Era episode 10.
We're gonna call this one Going Live because we are on YouTube. We're on YouTube.
Yeah. But thanks for joining us, guys. We love you.
Peace out, homies.
Bye. Subscribe.